Welcome to Daily with Doc and Becca. This program is for educational purposes only. The statements in this program have not been evaluated by the FDA. The content is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any diseases, nor is it intended to take the place of your primary care physician. Testimonials are shared as individual experiences of the individual sharing their testimony. Results vary and may not be typical. We do not make any claims regarding health or income. As an empowered individual, you do have options available. We are honored to have the founding father of the science of epigenetics guiding us with the best options to obtain or maintain optimal health, Dr. Joel Wallach. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Daily with Doc and Becca. My name is Becca Dukes, and it is my honor and privilege to have you spending a little bit of time with us today as we are going to be going into foods that you can do right in your own home and some of their benefits. We're going to be talking about the amazing, no, I'm not going to tell you about it yet. Anyways, thank you so much for joining us. This program is meant for educational purposes only. It is not meant to take the place of your primary care physician, nor is it meant to treat, diagnose, or cure any disease. But folks, one thing I know for sure, and they cannot refute it, is when you give your body what it needs, the body can do some amazing things. Again, my name is Becca Dukes. We are a resource for an amazing community. So if somebody shared this program with you, make sure that you get back with them. And somebody forgot to do
Recording
something.
in progress.
There we go. Here we go. So folks, get back with them. They took the time and cared enough about you to share this program or any of our programs with you. And speaking of our programs, I just want to say hello and do a shout out to a brand new audience on Odyssey. So folks, if you are an Odyssey watcher or listener, welcome. Welcome to the Daily with Doc and Becca show. Now, if you'd like to join us live, you may do so Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday from 12 to 1 p.m. Pacific, 1 to 2 Mountain, 2 to 3 Central, and 3 to 4 Eastern. Now, if you're in South Africa time zone, at this time, that would be 9 to 10 p.m. until the time changes. So sit back and get ready, as this program is being sponsored by dailywithdoc.com. We have some amazing information on our website, including a good foods, bad foods list, previous programming, articles, and don't forget to sign up for our newsletter. This is available to anybody and everybody, no matter who referred you or shared this program with you, so that you can get announcements and reminders and articles right to your email to help you create a better by the minute life and journey. Because folks, this thing we call health journey, it allows U-turns at any time. So let's go ahead and add some information to your toolbox to help you make a U-turn today. So today's guest is one of my favorite, well, I have a lot of favorite people, but she has been very instrumental in our tech crew as a coach with many different certifications. She has been teaching classes she's regretting not recording them. And I think that we should just let, not retire her and let her keep on going teaching classes, as she does such a great job when it comes to helping us know how to prepare food so that you're getting the most out of it. So help me welcome to the screen Ms. Sheri Browning. Hello, Sheri, and welcome, welcome, welcome. As we've had so many people requesting more information about fermenting. And today, we're going to be talking about fermented beets. So, the beet is amazing because you can eat the whole plant. You can eat it raw. You can eat it steamed. You can eat it, but don't tell Doc. You can even ferment it. And there's health benefits in every single form. So, Sheri, let's talk about beets for a little bit. How about an hour?
All right, let's do it. It's always a pleasure to be here with you, Becca. I have a lot of fun when we get together. And yeah, we can talk about the beet. I have one right here you can look at. They don't look like much, do they? It is a good size one. They come in all different sizes. They come in, you can get yellow beets, you can get the red beets. This is a red beet variety, but they are a powerhouse. I haven't always loved beets, but I do now because I have learned what they can do for the body. But I do want to give a caution here. 95% of sugar beets grown in the US and Canada are genetically modified. So this is one vegetable that you are going to want to make sure that you get organic. You absolutely must. If you want to, you just look for that USD organic label on it, and that has certified it to be GMO, non-GMO, and to be free of synthetic pesticides and synthetic fertilizers and more. So this is one that I always tell everyone, you must buy organic. I know there's a lot of debate. Organic, I believe it is more so today, truly organic than it might have been when it first came out because there are more regulations, but that's one I would always buy, organic.
They're easy to grow.
Oh, they are. Yes, I grew them this last fall, and I made 3 fermented jars of the beets I pulled, and I didn't even use all of them. I just used some of them. If I have leftover beets, what I'll do is cut them up like this and put them in my freezer. Can't see them very well. I'll put them in my freezer, and I'll just collect them until I get enough to do some more fermenting if I don't care. Well, when I cut them up like this, I'm going to use them for a fermented drink called beet kvass. If I'm going to ferment them like this, I'm going to slice them. But you don't have to. You can slice them. You can grate them. You can do all kinds of things. But in this, I know you can't see it because it's such a dark color, but there are some wonderful beets in there. If I pulled one out of the jar, it would look like this. And I had one this morning, and it is delicious. This is a fermented beet.
I have a question. The fermented beet.
Yeah.
Is it still firm? Because I know when you steam them, they get a little flimsy, and that does not look flimsy at all.
It'll crunch. If I bite into it, you'll hear a crunching sound. It won't be hard like it is when you first cut them because they're really hard, but it'll be a crunch. And that's when I know I used enough salt, because salt will help it retain its crunchiness. They don't get flimsy and kind of yucky like they do. I don't even like store-bought beets like in a can. I used to buy them in a can occasionally.
Get mush.
Oh, mush. Yeah, I don't like that at all. So with that said, maybe we could talk about the dietary benefits of beets. So beets are rich in natural dietary nitrates. Now, don't confuse that with nitrates and nitrites that are added to deli meats and hot dogs. This is a natural dietary nitrite that's in the beet. It's just naturally there. And those nitrites convert to nitric oxide. You know what nitric oxide does for the body, don't you?
Well, I know that it's necessary for circulation.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
Supporting the endothelial lining of the veins, arteries, vessels that going through, especially the legs.
Yes, the entire cardiovascular system.
Yeah, a lot of people, lose circulation in the legs.
Right, right. So nitric oxide helps to relax and widen blood vessels. This is so important, especially for that improved blood flow, like you said, the legs, cardiovascular system. It even will lower blood pressure temporarily. I mean, once the nitric oxide is used up in the body, the blood pressure may go right back up again because unless you eat the beets, consistently.
Mhm.
So you just, but it's something that's been researched to show that it will lower blood pressure for a little bit. It's not a cure-all. There can be different reasons for blood pressure, high blood pressure. So you'd want to determine what that is, but that's what it can do. It converts the nitrites in it converts to nitric oxide, which expands which improves blood flow. And that's important. So can you imagine for athletes how important that is? Increased blood flow, that increases their stamina, their endurance, because they're able to get more oxygen to their muscles. So beets are really a powerhouse. They also contain two powerful, well, they contain a lot of powerful antioxidants called betalains. Betalains, that's how you pronounce it. These are the pigments that give the beets their color. They're either vibrant red or vibrant yellow. Those are betalains, and they help reduce chronic inflammation in the body. It's amazing what food will do for us.
Mhm.
This is our pharmacy right here, God's pharmacy. So, and of course, if you can eliminate inflammation in the body, you can avoid many chronic diseases, because we know what, Becca, we know that disease starts where? Through inflammation, and usually through the gut.
Yes.
So in addition to betalains, beets are packed with antioxidants that help protect cells from damage caused by free radicals. We talk about that, and people go, well, what are free radicals? Well, those are things that go around the body that can cause damage, and we really want to eliminate as many of those as we can. And beets are a great source of fiber. So what does fiber do? It
Just
helps
keeps
promote regular
things
bowel.
moving.
That's right. That's right. Keeps things moving, and that we want. And the fiber in the beets actually feed the good microbiomes in your gut. They feed on that fiber, and that'll help them to outgrow the pathogens that might be in your gut, because we have both. We all do. And also the fiber helps support healthy blood sugar levels, and may even help with weight loss. We're not sure yet. I see we already have a hand in AJ. AJ, what question do you have?
Sheri, can you eat the dirt on the beets?
If you wanna, I wouldn't. I mean, it's probably not going to kill you. No, you wash the beet, and I peel the beet when I use it. But some people leave it unpeeled because they feel like there's a lot of good stuff right there on that peel that they want. I don't. It's too earthy for me then. So I wash the beets before I use them.
Well, and you just answered, yeah, you just answered my next question after
Okay.
eating the dirt on the beet is, do you peel it? And yes, you do. So
Yeah.
the dirt is going to include minerals, which the beet itself already has minerals like
Right.
manganese and potassium, iron, magnesium,
Right.
in addition to the antioxidants and phytonutrients that you just mentioned.
Right. I know. Isn't it wonderful? I mean, it is a powerhouse. And if you increase blood flow, what do you think that's doing for the brain?
Maybe that's what I'm missing today.
Go get you
My
some
beets.
Yeah. So that increased circulation helps the brain as well. And it supports the brain function, may even help with age-related decline in brain activity, and perhaps even dementia. But we want a good blood flow throughout the bodies, even the eyes. We need good blood flow through the entire body. And beets help to do that through the nitric oxide that it has, or that the body develops from it. So then you have to think about the anti-inflammatory compounds that protect the liver and the kidneys. It's another thing. Haven't you heard, Becca, that the beets are good for the liver? Have you heard that?
Yes, I have heard that. Why? Tell us, why would beets be good for the liver?
because of the powerful compounds that assist the body's natural detoxification. Our bodies detox daily, and mostly when we're sleeping is when our bodies reset, clean house, and they reset. So if you're drinking like it, you could drink, oh, I want to show that yet, that's in a minute. But I drink the brine from my beets as well as eat the beets. And if you drink just a little bit of this before you go to bed, then you've got the nitric oxide that will form in the body from the compounds in here that will help good blood flow, and it helps that liver release toxins. It's just wonderful. So that's one of the reasons why it's very helpful to the liver. And the kidneys, we want those little tiny capillaries be as open as possible in the kidneys. Well, you know, the nitric oxide is going to help with that. So this is another reason that they help with the kidneys and the liver.
Oh, fantastic. And, you know, we're so surrounded by things that are causing toxicity.
Yes.
And every little bit that we can do to help get rid of toxins is a good thing.
That's right. And you work with the body when it's trying to detox at night, which it is trying to do that. It does it every night when you're sleeping. It's working to restore itself. Then work with it and help it. Instead of going to bed heavy on a meal or heavy on stuff that isn't necessarily good for you, a little bit of beets might be a good idea. Just think about that. So did you find any other good nutrients that are in beets? I know it's folates in there.
Oh, absolutely. There's folates in there. You had already talked about the betalines, which I know I said that wrong. Vitamin C.
You said it right. You said it right.
Oh, good. Vitamin C.
Yeah. Isn't that amazing? Would you have expected that?
You know, you think vitamin C, you think oranges, right?
I know. We wouldn't think of the beets. And then there's manganese, which is needed for bone formation. That's in there as well. And there is iron in beets. I've heard people talk about the iron in beets, but to be honest, the non-hemi iron in plants is harder for the body to absorb than the meat, than that from animal sources. The hemi from animal sources is much easier for the body to absorb. So you'll get some, but you won't get as much. So don't give up your meat. Be sure and keep eating meat.
Don't give up your meat. Yeah, and you know, there's a lot of people that are iron deficient.
Yes.
Anemia.
Right.
And I was one of them.
Okay. All right. Now, if you eat a lot of beets, there's something interesting that could happen to your urine. And I want people to know it can turn pink and it can turn red. Don't let that scare you. You're not bleeding. This is just the pigments coming through your urine, because beets, as you can tell, they are a very strong color. And it doesn't mean you're eating too many. It just means you're eating. It's kind of like when you have our Beyond tangerine, our urine turns a bright yellow. That's just B vitamins coming through. It's nothing to worry about. So the reason go ahead.
Well, I was just going to ask, are you ready to tell us about what the liquid is that you use in fermenting the beets?
I am. It's so simple. People overthink when it comes to creating foods in their home. They just overthink it. I did it for a long time. And I will tell you that when you ferment them, you're going to start with, and I have a recipe. Matter of fact, I sent in 2. We'll have to put the recipes someplace. The first we'll start with, first you're going to prepare the beets by washing them, trimming it. Some people leave the peel on. I do not. It's too earthy for me. Wash it real good, then peel it. And then I'm going to slice it. And I'm going to slice it in circulars. And then I'm going to cut it again, like I just showed you, kind of like this. Depends on how big the beet is, and that's a pretty good size one. I want them about this size. Then I'm going to put them in a jar, quart jar, the ones I like the best. And I'm going to make a brine. And the brine is a saltwater brine. And you just use non-iodized sea salt to filtered water. That's your brine. And the salt creates the environment that favors the growth of good, healthy bacteria, and it will inhibit the harmful microorganisms that we don't want growing in there. So you must use enough salt. So follow the recipe when it says salt. It doesn't hurt to use a little more, but don't use less. And you're going to pack your beets in there. Then you're going to pour this brine over it. Now, this I added star anise to it because you can add many different things to flavor it. Just experiment and have fun. You can add garlic, you can add ginger, you can add peppercorns, you can add dill, whatever you can put in there, and it will change the flavor somewhat and make it even more fun. I like to experiment. So this time when I made the beets, I thought, well, they came out of my garden. I knew they were really good beets. And I thought, let's just try star anise. I've never tried that. And it's so good. I'm going to do that again. I definitely do that again.
Yeah, that sounds really good.
Yeah, doesn't it? Yeah.
It does.
Yeah.
I love
because
star
star anise has a little bit of a licorice taste to it, but it doesn't taste licorice here. It did something in here that has a sweet, tangy, salty kind of thing. Very, very little hint of sweet, not much, more salty, tangy. It's really good. So if you have that desire to have something like you're sitting there wanting to snack on something, you'll get you a jar of beets and have fun because it has a great flavor. And with the juice this time, it just occurred to me today. Today's the day I decant kombucha, and I like to add a second flavor to the kombucha. So I'm going to take a tablespoon of this and put it in a jar about this size, and then put the kombucha in. And that's going to be, I'm going to try a new flavor, a beet flavor. I think that's going to be fun.
Beet anise.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sounds good.
A new name.
So
once you
let's
get
talk
them
a little.
in there, go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, I have a question in regards
Sure.
to the liquid. So you use filtered water.
Yes.
And then sea salt. And I think that we just need to start a whole new tab on the Daily with Doc website with recipes.
Yes, I agree. I agree.
We'll do what it takes to do that. In fact, I'm working with the designer for the new website, and I'll make sure we get that added in there as well.
Great.
Now with your filtered water, do you heat it?
No.
And add the salt? So it's like cold or room temperature?
Yeah, cold room temperature. It dissolves. You don't have to have it dissolve right away. I know that I read things about putting the water in a warm, saucepan and warming it up with the salt and make sure it dissolves. But I've never had a problem with it. It does dissolve. Even if you just put it in there like that, it dissolves over time. Salt just does. So I don't bother with any of that. I find myself, when I first started, I followed every little step until I just made my own way of doing it. And that's what you'll do. You'll start creating your own way of doing it that feels comfortable to you. The way I was taught to make kombucha is nothing like I do it today. I mean, it's still basically the same, but it's just my way of doing it. Same with this. Once I get the fluid in there, I'm going to put the beets now and make sure that I take the liquid, the brine, right below this lip. And that's where I'll stop it. I'll make sure that those beets are well below the liquid line or the water line, because you want it in an anaerobic environment. It's got to be without oxygen. Anything that sticks up can develop mold on it. And I like to be hands-on with my food. So I'll take while it's sitting on my counter before I move it to the fridge, I'll just go in there and push things down if they're up. I'll swirl it around. Because if you let it sit too stagnant, it will develop another mold called calm, but it's harmless. But it's just this white mold that can form on the top because it's set stagnant. So I just keep it stirred up, and it never does that anymore, ever. It's harmless, but I just don't like it on there.
So beets themselves will float. Do you use a weight?
You can.
Use a weight?
You can use a weight to push it down. They have those that you can buy to push it down. You can use a little baggie filled with water and use that to push it down if you want. I just keep pushing it down. A couple of times a day, I go by it in the kitchen and push it down. That seems to be sufficient. And then now they don't really float anymore. They just kind of settled at the bottom because they're fermented. And this, I will drink some of this. I use about, 2 cups of water to 1 tablespoon of salt, I believe. Let me look at that recipe real quick, because it's different recipes. And I believe it's 1 tablespoon of salt to 2 cups of water. 1 second.
And so, folks, as she's looking that up, I want to know where you're all joining us from. So no matter what platform you are on, even if you're here live with us and you came to zoom.dailywithdoc.com, put in that chat what state or country you are joining us from, as we want to know how people are situated around the world in getting this information. So thank you so much, everybody. And Ruth Ellen did post the recipe in the chat, which is another
Wonderful.
great
Wonderful.
reason for people to be here live with us, as the chat that Marilyn contributes to greatly is only seen and available in our live Zoom chat. So again, that's zoom.dailywithdoc.com. And so it's 1 quart of water, 1 teaspoon of coriander seed, 2 tablespoons of finely ground real salt, to 1.5 pounds of beets, peeled, and she says sliced thin. So did you slice those that are in your jar there?
I did, but I didn't make them super thin. That's the beauty of what you do. You get to make any size you want. I don't like them super thin because they aren't as crunchy to me. I like them about like this.
Okay.
What is that?
And yep,
quarter inch.
that's about a quarter inch. And then going on here, 2 tablespoons of ginger, finely grated. That sounds amazing.
Yeah.
Ginger and beets. And then 2 tablespoons of orange peel, slightly grated. Okay, I'm gonna have to go get some beets because this really sounds good.
It is good. It is good.
Now, I know when I was doing fermentation, I would add a probiotic, and Youngevity has the nightly essence, which is amazing. I would open one of those capsules and I would put that in my jar when I was doing sauerkraut, or I did pickled garlic sauerkraut. I'm going to be doing some beets here soon, now that I'm settled in my new kitchen. So I'm really looking forward to getting back into the fermenting, and that's okay to do.
Yes, that would be considered a starter, which often people put a starter in a fermented food to guarantee its success. They want to make sure it does it. So if you don't have anything like that, you would just add a little extra salt. That works too. Okay. And if I want to start another jar of beets, I can use some of this as a starter. Some of the juice from this as a starter. Probably maybe just a quarter cup.
Just like we do with the kombucha.
Yeah, same. Exactly the same. It's just a starter. Or you can open up the capsules, the probiotic capsules. There is something to remember when it comes to probiotics. And this is why I love probiotic foods so much. There are at least 2,000 different strains of beneficial bacteria in our gut, at least. So most that you find that you buy probiotics that are just probiotics that are sold, usually about 14 strains is what I've seen so far, which is great. I'm not putting that down at all. That's better than some. That's really good to get started with. But fermented foods add even so much variety of those strains. You don't want a monoculture in your gut. You want a variety. And that's why I love fermented foods. I still get the Flora FX, and I open that up and I make my own mouthwash, and I just pour a capsule of that into my mouthwash, and I add it to my toothpaste as well. So, it's just easy. Those 4FX capsules open up, put some of the toothpaste, some in the mouthwash that I make, because you want a good microbiome in your mouth as well. So fermented foods helps with that, but if you're going to brush your teeth, why not just add that as well? Yeah. So I do like that.
The subject for a whole nother show.
I know, isn't it though?
I love it.
So I would leave this jar loosely covered on the counter because it's going to create a gas. And if before the show, I had this tightened up and I could hear this little hissing sound. And that was the gases that were trying to escape out of the top. And as soon as I opened it, I heard, that kind of, which means the gas is coming out, which is what you want to happen. That's what you want to happen. So I would leave it loosely on there. I like hands-on, so I'm going to go in there and mess with it throughout the day, a couple times a day, push it down if it's up, stir around with my fingers to keep it really stirred up on top so the cum can't grow. And then in about 4 days, I'm going to taste it. And if it's about what I want, not exactly, but about, Then I'm going to tighten the jar and I'm going to stick it in the refrigerator. It will still ferment, but at a very slow pace in the refrigerator. That's why I
So-
don't want to leave it on until it's exactly what I want. Yeah,
4
usually about
days?
4 days. You're just going to taste it and see. You can leave it longer. That's not a problem. I think I end up leaving this one out about 6 before I got to that taste that I thought I would want. And then I stuck it in the refrigerator. And it's continued to ferment in the refrigerator. It gets tastier and tastier to me. Now this will last, the taste complex that I like will last about 6 months in the refrigerator. But I've had some that goes longer than that and they still taste great. So you can get at least 6 months out of that.
That's awesome.
Easy to do.
Awesome.
Yeah. So here's why you want to ferment food. We've talked about it before, haven't we, Becca? But when you
Yeah.
ferment beets, you take that rich source of live beneficial bacteria and you get a lot of good probiotics for your gut. We know that. And given that 70 to 80% of our our immune system is in our gut, we want a good, healthy gut. And when you ferment any food, you enhance the nutrients that are already in that food. You actually increase the amount of nutrients there, like the B vitamins and the vitamin C actually increases, which is another great reason to ferment the food. And beets, like many plants, contain anti-nutrients such as the phytates and the oxalates. We know about those. That's the plant's way of saying, no, I don't want you to eat me. But when you do, I'm going to keep you from absorbing some things. Well, when you ferment food, those oxalates and the phytates don't work anymore. And so you absorb better the zinc and the minerals and iron. You'll absorb better because that takes care of it. The fermentation process actually takes care of that. And for beets, because they're a sugar beet, you actually reduce the sugar content in that beet through lactofermentation because the little bugs in there are eating up that sugar. And that will make it even easier for those who are maybe having blood sugar issues. They can eat fermented beets easier than the regular beets. They also help with their digestion because it pre-digests. When you ferment food, you're pre-digesting it, which makes it easier for some people, especially with digestive issues, to be able to digest the food. I love the flavor too. You get a unique flavor that you won't get if you just roast beets or you steam beets. The flavor is wonderful. And they also hold on to those nutritional compounds. When you cook beets, you'll lose some of the betalains. Yeah, you'll lose some of the betalains and you'll lose some of the, what is the other one I was talking about on there? The betalains and the, can't remember, well, it'll come to me. Anyways, you'll lose some of those when you cook, but when you ferment them, you do not lose them at all. So your body can use the nitrates that your body uses to form nitric oxide. It stays in it when you ferment it. You can lose some of it when you cook it. And then the betalains, which are the antioxidants that cause the anti-inflammatory, you can lose some of those cooking, but you don't when you ferment.
Well, 2 other things that get reduced whenever you cook it is vitamin C.
Yes.
And iron, the folate.
Right.
Due to the heat. So
that's right. So you never heat it. This is never heated.
No.
So it keeps all that nutrition. It's such a great way to consume. And I've had people tell me they don't like beets, but they can try the fermented beets and all of a sudden, wow, these are pretty good. Just like the okra, my friend who said she hated okra until she fermented them, and now she ferments them all the time. So there you go. Another hand is up.
Fibers, the fibers.
Yes, it does. It gets broken down a little bit. So it's like it's pre-digested, but you still get the fiber. Just makes it easier on you.
Yeah. Now, what else do you want to share about fermenting and beets before we go into some of the things that are available for those who don't want to do fermenting?
Okay, do we want to ask AJ what his question is first or wait?
Oh, AJ, was your hand up again or still?
My hand was up again. I got Sheri, a couple comments on YouTube. One, Rosa says, I love beets. And Notorious Steph mentions that there's also a beet recipe product and a Life Force Vital Start Pack, stick packs, along with a special ginseng. And then Olga has a question. Olga also mentions freshly squeezed beets, apples, and ginger makes a delicious fresh juice. And she also uses fermented beet powder. Now, the two questions, one may be answered by either of you. The first question is has to do with the type of water. Is distilled water something that you might use? Is it drinkable on a consistent basis? Or are we using some other type of water?
Filtered water. I love distilled water. I have a little distill thing that you can make your own distilled water, but I have a reverse osmosis system too, and they're very similar. Distilled water and reverse osmosis are very similar. So I'm able to get the water out of my tap through my reverse osmosis system. Distilled water is great. Absolutely. And I would drink it every day. I would have no issue with drinking every day. What about you, Becca?
Well, I know whenever I do distilled water, I put something that has minerals in it.
Yeah, because it is totally just H2O.
Yeah.
That is it. And that's another good point too, is that I have no issue at all with adding some plant-derived minerals to my fermenting. I just put a little bit in there. Anything to enhance it, I put it in there.
Okay.
Now, okay, go ahead, AJ. You have another question?
Well, another question from Olga. I don't know if this is something that we can address today, but she mentions her circulatory formula came in today, and on the bottle it says not for prolonged use. Is that something that you can discuss?
Yeah, those are herbs made by Good Herbs, and those are to be taken on as just a limited period of time. And if you'll look and see what the herbs are on there, you'll understand that. There are some herbs you can take every day. There are some herbs you would only take medicinally occasionally, so the body doesn't build up this kind of, I don't want to call it resistance, but it just doesn't work as well after a while. It just isn't necessary. So the circular support would be something you'd only take on occasion. And that's what Brett taught us the last time we had a meeting. You take it according to how you're supposed to be taking it for. The problem is, no, wait a minute. I've got to rethink that. The circulatory support, he said you could take every day. Can we get back on that?
Yeah, we'll get back to you on that. And I know that there's a lot of warnings that have to be put on bottles.
I know.
Because of the FDA and requirements.
I know. It frustrates me. It does. But I do believe circulatory support, he said you could take every day. But I'll look for my notes on that class that I had with him. Yes.
Thanks.
So,
and then lastly, lastly for now, because I might have another question later, but so because of the things that you mentioned, is that why Youngevity puts beets in their product? And would it be better if they fermented the beets before they put it in the product?
Question. Excellent question. I think it'd be better if they fermented the beets, but I don't know where they get their source. And maybe their beets are fermented. I honestly don't know. It's a beet powder, but the fact that you can see beets are being promoted so much today, beet powder, beet everything, this is why, because they now are well known for their medicinal and nutritional value. So you can see why Youngevity has, and we're going to talk about some products that have beets in them that Youngevity sells. We'll get to that in just a minute, but something to think about there. So, you can enjoy fermented beets as a crunchy snack. It can be a side dish. It can be added to salads. You can even blend them into a smoothie, the juice or the beet. You can do that as well. So you were asking me again about some other possible uses for beets. Is that right? Or other recipes?
Well, me?
Yeah.
I know that you've got a lot of recipes up your sleeve. And tell us about kvass.
Oh, kvass, one of my favorites. I have this in my refrigerator all of the time. I just made this yesterday because I ran out. This is a traditional Eastern European fermented beverage, is what it is. It's called beet kvass. And this one, and you can buy commercially kvass. You can buy commercially prepared beet, fermented beets, but you must be sure that they're in the refrigerated section of the store, not the aisles. That's not fermented. Those are going to have a vinegar background or be vinegar based and will not have probiotics in it. And you want to make sure there's no added sugar. It's so easy to make your own, though. I wouldn't bother to buy it, but if you want to, you can do that on the commercial. But this one has, oh, I just love this recipe. This is beet kvass, and it has lemon. It has either tangerine, or this happens to be a small orange, and it has ginger. Where's my ginger? There it is. This is what's in it. Those three along with the beets, and it is absolutely delicious. It's very effervescent when you drink it. I often will use this to flavor my kombucha when I want to add a beet one, but I'm going to use this juice this time just because it turned out so good, because I tasted it and I was super, super like it. So this is called beet kvass, and it is easy to make. You just put your beets in the jar, you cut them up, and there is a recipe that I did hand in that we can use. Just cut your beets up at about 1 inch or so. Then you're going to add this tangerine or a small orange. What I do is I take this orange and I quarter it, and I squeeze the juice into the jar, and then I throw the rind in with it. You use everything. Same thing with the lemon. You quarter it, squeeze the juice into the jar, and then throw the rind in. Use everything. That's why you're going to scrub them before. And then you're going to add the ginger, and you can grate it or chop it. I just chop it up real fine. You can leave the peel on. You don't have to take it off. Just wash it. Throw it into the jar. I also add a little bit of I have fallen in love with these plant-derived minerals. I use them in everything. And I put a little bit in that as well. Then I add my salt, which is going to be a tablespoon of sea salt, or a tablespoon and a half if you don't have a starter. And then I'm going to put the water up to here, the filtered water up to here, and it's going to sit on my counter for about 4 days. It's usually ready by the 4th day. And you can stick it in the refrigerator just like this and take the liquid off to drink it. I don't do that. I go ahead and decant it. I strain it and decant it into one of these swing top bottles. So I decant it into there, and then you'll have your leftover vegetables and fruits there. Some people do it a second time. I don't. I did it once, the second time, and it was just too weak. I didn't like it. So I start fresh every time. You can eat the beets that come out of that. You're not going to want to eat the lemon and the orange because the juice is gone and it's just the rind. But you can eat the beets that come out of there if you want to. So, and that goes in my refrigerator. And then you can pour a little bit and drink it 1 or 2 times a day. It's delicious. Absolutely delicious. It's an easy one to make. It just takes you a few minutes. All it takes is a few minutes. And that's when, again, I'll go in and check on. I'll push it down. If it seems to be popping up too much, I'll swirl it around, and then I'll cover it. Yesterday, I put the water up to the neck, and now it's already half up that neck. So it's growing, which is what I want it to do. And then I'll sit it on a little plate so that it can, sometimes it'll overflow with the fermentation process, which is fine, perfectly normal. And leave it out for about 4 days, and then strain it, put it in the bottle, and into the fridge it goes. And there it is, just waiting for me. I hope everybody will try it. You'll love them. Yes, ma'am.
Well, I'm going to try it. And one thing that I love about how you do it, it doesn't require all these fancy gadgets
that
are available to ferment.
I know, you can buy all these fancy tops with I kind of did that in the beginning, thinking, oh, I needed all this. You do not need all that. Simplify it. Think simple, simple, simple.
Now,
So,
there is one thing that you do use that I
yeah.
think is pretty significant. You're using the plastic mason jar lids, not the metal
Yes.
one.
Right. Now, because these plastic jars, lids, I have several of them, some that are tight fitting, some that are not. I will put the metal ring jar on here because when I put everything in here, I'm going to shake it. I won't do it here because it'll get all over me, but I'm going to put the lid on tight and then I'm going to shake it to mix everything up when I first put everything together. And then, but after that, I can take that metal ring off and put the white one on because it's already mixed up. Now I'm just swirling it at the top and keeping it pushed down. You don't have to spend a lot of money on this stuff. It's just pointless to do so. So I don't bother with the weights. I've tried them. I didn't like them. I've tried the little tops that have the little plastic thing for oxygen control. I didn't like that. I like to be hands-on. That's just who I am.
Yeah. Now, let's go into some of the products that
Okay.
include
Yeah.
beets for health. And as we're going into that, Bruce had a question wanting to know if there are any beets in pollen burst, which there is one of the pollen burst drinks, Bruce. Yes, that includes beetroot extract, and that's my favorite. The pollen
Very
burst
good.
mountain berry, or the berry burst, or yeah, is it berry burst? Let me check. But yeah, so there is the pollen burst plus the berry flavor, whether it's mountain berry. It used to be mountain berry, and then they changed it to berry burst, and now it's pollen burst plus berry. But it does have some beetroot extract in there. So what are some other products? And I know you have a couple favorites.
I do have a couple of favorites. There is the Beyond Tangy Tangerine has beets in it. Either the 2.0 or 2.5, doesn't matter. They both have beet in them now. That's wonderful because you can drink that every day and you're getting beets. Another one is the CardioBeets. I don't have a container. It's the CardioBeets that Youngevity sells, and it's just the beet powder. And it is for promoting cardiovascular health.
And I like that one because it also has the tart cherry juice in it.
Good. I've never tried it.
Really makes for a nice palatable flavor between the beets and the tart cherry. I love it.
That would help those who don't like the beet flavor. They would like it, wouldn't they? Because they don't like the beet flavor, and that cherry would help. What do you think?
There's still a little bit of a beet flavor to it, but it's not as beety or strong.
Okay. Yeah, I'll turn it down. There is a spiced beet hummus mix that you can get. I've never tried it, but now I'm very curious and would like to try it.
It's good. It's good. So you just take 1 tablespoon of this and you mix it with 2/3 cup of hummus and 1/3 cup of mashed feta cheese, or 2/3 cup of sour cream, and 1/3 cup of Greek yogurt.
Ooh,
and then
that sounds good.
And just use it as a dip. I'm glad I have it.
I'm going to try that. I'm going to have to order me some. Yeah, that sounds great. Yes. The XeraFem. I would never thought it, but when I was looking at the products, XeraFem has beets in it. That's the hormonal support that we have for women. Yeah.
And it's also in XeraTest, right?
Yes, it is. XeraTest as well has beets. Interesting.
And so these are in the Pro line, which our medical professionals or doctors absolutely love the Pro line. And then there's one more product in the Pro line that does have the beets in it, and that is
Imortalium. Yeah. Yes. Excellent one.
Yeah. So, and Imortalium is absolutely fantastic as it supports our telomere health. So folks, look up that word, telomeres, and see how important it is to support your telomere health. And then go to either the person that referred you to this program and say, hey, I want some Imortalium with my 90, because we don't do fractionated nutrition here. We do the foundation and then the add-ons based on what the individual needs. So it's not a one size fits all. And ask for Imortalium to keep those telomeres supported and healthy.
Excellent.
What's another product?
It's a new product that we have. It's called the 3.0 Rise and Restore. That also has beets in it. It's in I think the restore part.
The restore, yes.
Yeah. The one
Which in the beginning, you mentioned how beets help to restore, which I instantly thought, oh, well, it's in restore. So that's very appropriate.
It is. Taken in the evening, because that's a drink you would take in the evening, and it would work with your body as you sleep. And having beets in there is perfect for that. Absolutely perfect for that.
Well, fantastic. And folks, I know that there have been a couple questions. We got people asking for the recipes. I just want to do shout out to those who are joining us. We've got Utah, we've got England, and somebody else. I know we've got Florida, we have Arizona. There's shout outs to everybody that commented. Now, some of you are shy. That's okay. That's okay. We're super excited that you took the time, though, to be part of us here. We've got California. And yes, so we've got Yvonne, who's been a guest on our show many times, where she is emphasizing how beets are an amazing compound for health, heart, and health. So absolutely fantastic. Oh, and Jose adds the berry pollen burst and CardioBeets both taste great to him, especially pollen burst. I love it too. He says, I could feel circulation improvement with CardioBeets. So that is absolutely fantastic. We've got Colorado Springs joining us. And thank you, Jose. So the Tangy Tangerine 2.5, he says, has 500 milligrams of beetroot. So that's a nice boost to your daily diet. And hello, Texas and Virginia. Fantastic. So we have more hands up, Sheri. So let's go.
Right.
Should we go back to AJ? He just loves raising his hand. AJ.
We lost Jeff, though. Come on, Jeff. Come back.
Yeah, I was just clarifying what Yvonne said. She was talking about the leaves of the beets. She was mentioning don't leave out the leaves of the beets, because they also contain amazing compounds for heart health.
It is true. Oh. You can eat the entire plant, above and below ground. Yes.
And I love doing the beet greens, just steamed a little bit and put some butter on it. You know, having that extra fat helps to release the vitamin A, fatty nutrient that's within the leafy greens. Yeah. So thank you, AJ. Thank you, Yvonne, for reminding us.
And when I do the greens, I like to saute them in butter and then add garlic salt. That's how I like it.
Oh, absolutely. I use the word soften in butter.
Okay.
Because Doc's like, saute. No, that's frying. No, Doc, we're sauteing them. We're not using high heat. And that's something when you are using something like butter or ghee or tallow or lard, we don't want to fry our foods. We want to soften them. Well, yes, we want the things that need to be cooked, but not on such a high heat that it is converting the good fats into bad fats, or even
Correct.
charring the meat and the fats, creating acrylamides, which have been
Right.
shown to cause that big C word that I don't think anybody wants.
I know, isn't that the truth? So lower medium heat is fine. You're just sauteing it gently. And I love to add garlic salt. I just love that flavor. So yeah, there's so many variations that you could do. So
Yes,
Jeff,
there
I
are.
saw Jeff in our audience had a question. Where'd you go, Jeff? Come back. I want to hear your question.
Yeah, let's see if Jeff is still on. He had his hand up for a moment. I do not see that he is here with us still. Let's see if we've got some more questions coming in.
Marilyn has a question.
Marilyn.
I don't really have a question, but I have something that I think is fascinating. Sheri made me think of this. As a child, I was always thinking, God, it seems kind of cruel. Why is the summer short and the winter's long? And why do we have all these leaves, twigs, and berries and everything go in the ground? Well, I think God didn't want us to touch the ground during that time. And what everybody did, they used to do when they didn't have the refrigeration and everything, they fermented their food. And so what does the fermented food do? Well, it gives you 10 times the probiotics, prebiotics for your digestion. And where does all disease stem from? As Ben Fuchs says, the digestive system, the small intestine. So we're lacking, I think now, the fermentation.
Yeah.
So now if we did practice, put that more into practice, because you can only put so much prebiotic probiotics in a capsule, a powder, a liquid. But when you ferment, just like Sheri said, it enhances not only those properties, but the vitamins, the minerals, all of it.
It does. Marilyn, I'm so glad you shared that because that is so true.
Having this made me think of that. Also, as a child, I just caught, what's the real reason? And then I thought, we're not fermenting. And just recently I found out K2 comes from fermented food. And
that's right. It does.
It converts like 7 proteins into carrier molecules to take the nutrients from the blood into the bones.
Yes.
And it comes from fermented food.
Yes, fermented foods are a powerhouse all by themselves, and you can ferment just about everything. I get carried away sometimes and make too many. That's when I start sharing because I can get a little carried away. But I love to eat them. I'm 75, and I have friends with so many health issues my age, and I can do anything. I have no health issues whatsoever, but I know it's because I keep my gut healthy through fermented foods. And I don't always eat perfectly all the time, I have to admit, but I know that if I really occasionally kind of mess up or choose differently, I know that I can keep my gut healthy just through fermented food. I know I do. I can.
Yeah, and you've proven to us we're taking fresh herbs, we're taking fresh fruits and vegetables and candy.
You're right. Yes.
It's not like taking a can of soup where it's pre-cooked and then they add table salt and they
exactly. And my husband, I see this question in chat. Do I have an extra large refrigerator? It is a good size, but my husband used to tease me all the time. We need to get a refrigerator just for you, for all your fermented stuff, and then we'll have one for the family. Which is, it's true. When I put in the kombucha and then I put in other stuff, it can be pretty full, but that's okay. I love that stuff.
Okay.
Yes, and you have to have the shelves just right for all of these.
Yes. Right.
So
you do.
Remember how years ago everyone had a cellar? I mean, well, I'm from Wisconsin.
Yes, I wish we could. We can't here in Texas. Water table's too high, but yeah.
They were packed in plastic. They were in glass jars, mason jars.
That's right. Thank you, Patty, for your comment. You're sweet.
Yes. All right. So I know Dolores had her hand up for a moment. Dolores, can you unmute
Dolores.
yourself?
I want to talk to you.
Dolores, I just sent you a request to unmute yourself. Oh, nope. It looks like she got bumped off. All right. Well, you know what? It's at the top of the hour. Marilyn, go ahead and stay on. And if I could get the rest of the co-host team up here on the screen with us. We do this because we love you. We love people. We love to let people know because many of us were stuck in a system that was not working for us. And when we found a different way of approaching our health that created wellness, we just want to share it with everyone we can. And that's why we are here. I am so honored to be able to have an amazing team, as some of these people are part of my tech crew that do a lot of the technical stuff, so I don't have to know everything. Sheri is part of that tech crew. In addition to being one of our co-hosts, she's also a guest, sharing many of her, she's got a plethora of things to share when it comes to health. And I'm so excited that she has stepped out of that comfort zone and came on camera, not just in a live classroom. So thank you so much, Sheri, for being our guest today and sharing with us. And of course, Marilyn, she's a researcher, folks. So you want to make sure that you get on our newsletter list, because she's got some amazing articles that are coming out that'll be part of that. Thank you, Marilyn, for being so provocative in your thought and being so thorough as well. So thank you, Marilyn. And she's also, we lovingly call her Fingers, as she does dictation, taking the information that's being spoken, putting it into chat, and sharing that in the chat here on the live Zoom. And we have Ruth Ellen, who is my executive production manager. And she's taking and keeping us, in line, focused. Sometimes we kind of go this way and that way as we're doing the show setup. And she brings us back in, helps us focus. And if anything is wrong in my background, she fixes it or tells me what to do. But I lovingly love her as a sister, so she can tell me whatever she wants. And we also have Rod, who is been a coach for many, many years, as an athletic coach and as an athlete himself. And he himself found the nutrition to be beneficial and some things that he had going on in life. And one of these days we'll have his story shared, because it's pretty impressive, folks, what the body can do when given the right stuff. So thank you, Rod, for being out there watching different platforms, getting the chatter going. And as you see questions, bringing them into the chat, into the show, if AJ doesn't get to them first. And speaking of AJ, I'm going to go out of order here. Sorry about that. But AJ is our digital marketing director. He is the guy that is responsible for getting us out on all these different platforms. And again, hello and welcome to our Odyssey listeners now, joining the family of platforms where Daily with Doc is now live and aired, and you can just plug in whenever you want to hear information that can help you choose a better health journey. And last but certainly not least, the man who is up past my bedtime, Albert, joining us from South Africa. Yes, the zebra that you see in the background of his picture was taken by him from his own yard, as he lives. I mean, he shows us pictures and videos, and it's just an amazing, amazing sanctuary for animals where he is at. So thank you, Albert, for being part of our team and letting people in to the live Zoom. Now, folks, again, if you were invited by somebody specific, get back with them and say, hey, I need more information to help me overcome this, this, and this. Again, this program is for educational purposes only. It's not meant to take the place of a primary care physician. And as certified holistic health coaches, which many of the people that I see on with us today are, we know the benefits of nutrition. We also know that there are times where, yeah, we do need to go to the doctor, especially in emergency situations, because they went to school for a reason. But unfortunately, the nutrition was left out of that. So make sure that you are working with your certified holistic health coach and your primary care physician for best results. If you are not referred by somebody specific and you would like to get in touch with a certified holistic health coach, as you've never spoken to anybody about Youngevity, about Dr. Wallach, about Daily with Doc, about Pharmacist Ben, we do have a call team at 855-949-3377. Again, that's 855-949-3377, where we have around the clock coverage now to help you find what it is that you are missing from your diet to create a better, healthier you. And if you would like to get more information about becoming a certified holistic health coach, you may do so by going to coach.dailywithdoc.com. There is a certified holistic health coach course offered by the Institute of Holistic Health. I am the director of student services for that institute. I'm also a certified naturopathic practitioner, and we go through teaching you about the 4 areas of health, how they're affected by nutritional deficiencies, and what you can do about it. And then we go even deeper into more of the mental and emotional and financial parts of wellness. So go to coach.dailywithdoc.com to get more information about how you also can become a certified holistic health coach, whether you're doing it for yourself, your family, or you want to build a business. This program is affordable and it's there for you. So folks, join us tomorrow, Thursday, as we're going to have another amazing episode of Daily with Doc and Becca here for you, and Friday with Pharmacist Ben on Pharmacist Fridays on Daily with Doc. Until next time, bye for now. Welcome to Daily with Doc and Becca. This program is for educational purposes only. The statements in this program have not been evaluated by the FDA. The content is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any diseases, nor is it intended to take the place of your primary care physician. Testimonials are shared as individual experiences of the individual sharing their testimony. Results vary and may not be typical. We do not make any claims regarding health or income. As an empowered individual, you do have options available. We are honored to have a founding father of the science of epigenetics guiding us with the best options to obtain or maintain optimal health, Dr. Joel Wallach.